Hey.
Wow,
Yeah.
technical
Difficulties.
difficulties
Yeah.
today, but making it through. Delays are not denials, even with
Yes.
this right
Yeah,
now.
that's so true. I thought there was somewhere you can put a title. Like I've been seeing titles on
Me
people's
too.
things
And
and
you
like
did
I
it
don't
once. One week you did it.
really I
Yeah,
never
it was
seen it
at the
there.
top. You made it, and it was like when we were doing the art of letting go or something.
Oh.
Or something. I don't remember. But I don't know how you do it. But we can do it later when we repost it.
Yeah. Okay. Because I was like, I know I'm seeing that on some people's, but yes, hello. And
Happy Fempreneur Friday,
yeah.
everyone. Friday energy, Friday energy.
We need that Friday energy.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're talking about delays are not denials and really just talking about what to do in the pause season or the season that you're not seeing the results, you're not seeing any fruit, you're not seeing anything happen. And how do you stay focused when you're not seeing any results? Like that is a huge thing. It's a huge thing that came up this week for me again. And then also just like in general, I know that there's ups and downs and there's different levels of it, right? And I think like when you get used to one level, there's always another level.
Yeah, no,
So
seriously.
it's just like, okay, I can be okay with not seeing results in this season because I'm seeing this growth. But then when you get so used to that growth, it feels like nothing. Like,
Right. Right.
actually, no, I don't see anything. Nothing is happening. Nothing's changed. Like, what do I do? Am I doing the right thing? Am I supposed to be here? Am I, all the questions.
Exactly. And I just think that, like, with life, sometimes we have to take a step back and let go a bit and like realize that, delays happen, things happen, technical difficulties happen, like with us at the beginning of this call, like weird things happen, like my dog barking in the background or whatever. But it's like, like you have to just keep going with the flow and keep breathing through things because it's just like life is always going to throw you curveballs and or delays or moments of pause or moments of
Right.
like to rethink or evaluate the choices that you made or just like, think about the past a bit and how far you've come, but not live in the past. But before we kind of like dive into more of it, I pulled a card for us today from my little oracle deck, and it just was so crazy on alignment with this conversation and in alignment with what me and Stacy have been dealing with this week that I thought I would try it. And it says, take a break. And it says, a life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. And that's
Mm.
basically like, it's your life's work. It's your life's purpose. It's not a treadmill, like, and you don't have to like race and rush and hustle all the time. Like it's really about, that alignment over hustle, a lot of the time, especially frustrating times like this when, we are slammed with delays or, we are faced with like, do you have faith in this moment or are you going to give up?
Yeah.
So
Right.
I'll read this real quick and then we'll keep talking. But so it says, it's okay to take a break and enjoy your creations, to take a moment from your busy schedule, to get off the treadmill of life, to appreciate and acknowledge all that you have created, achieved, released, or experienced before rushing on to the next thing, to be in the moment and enjoy where you are, to take a breath and regulate your mind, body, and spirit, to recalibrate, appreciate, and celebrate, to decide on what you really want to experience next. If you take a moment, you are not going to miss out. Perhaps you have just completed a big project, manifested something significant into your life, released an old way of being, or just been burning the candle at both ends. Now is the time to take some time out before rushing on to the next thing. You did it. Enjoy yourself and recalibrate. Go on vacation, book a massage, take long walks in nature, go away and rejuvenate for a weekend to recharge and replenish. So
Mm.
today's action is take a break and breath. And
Ooh.
breathing is so important right now. It really
Yeah.
is. But
How do
yeah, that's
you
basically just, about what we're talking about. delays are not denials, you know, and it's okay to take a break when you're feeling like you're up against the wall and you're forcing everything and nothing's flowing correctly.
Yeah.
And your
Yeah, you know what,
situation this
actually,
week.
yeah, and then you know what, first I'll say just like kind of what came up when you were reading that was even taking a break, right? Like sometimes I feel like there are times where I'm taking a break that like a not controlled break. Like for example, my son, you know, he got sick. I knew that I had to cancel my schedule. This was a couple weeks ago. And also I was also feeling the guilt of that and like, oh no, all the things that I need to do and all those things. But it's so crazy. It's just like you can't even experience the break when you are like in that, right? And it's just
Right.
like nothing can open up, nothing. But if you could just actually rest and experience the break as it is, then it can fuel you. Actually, like these times can fuel you to the next season. But if you're taking that break and being so guilty and thinking about all the things that you should be doing rather than just resting, then
Right.
there is no fuel to go on and do the next thing.
Right. And
So that
we've
was
also
major.
talked about presence before in one of our talks, and I think it's just it also ties in with that
Yeah.
because like when you're, you know, in the here and now and present, it's like and you're practicing, you know, being in the now and living in the here and now. It's like if you're going to take a break, then you have to be fully taking a break in this here and now moment. Like, you
Yeah.
know, if you're taking a break and like thinking about your to-do list, thinking about all you have to do, thinking about, oh my God, this didn't come through yet. Oh my God, I don't know how this is going to work or whatever. It's like, you're not really taking a break because your mind is still going, going, going in the future, in the past, like everywhere, but the here and moment now where you can just like breathe and, you know, fully embrace that break. Like
Yeah.
if you're it says like in the power of now, like if you're resting, do that fully. Like if you're working,
Mm,
do that fully. But it's like if you can't, if there's nowhere to move, like if life has just put so many, you know, blocks in your way just at, you know, this moment or whatever, then it's like, yeah, maybe it is time to just breathe, recalibrate, and evaluate some things, you know,
yeah.
reevaluate some things.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for me,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
these last weeks have been kind of interesting. Like I've, I mean, this has kind of been like it's my birthday season, so I feel like it's kind of been good. But like, I mean, it's been good. Let me say it's been good. But like, I've had weird things happen here and there that cause delays. Like I explained a couple weeks ago, like I had a computer incident
Oh yeah.
and my computer wasn't working for like almost a week, and it was really just like testing me, like what do I do? Like do I freak out in this time? Do I, you know, like do I just become doubtful and frustrated and like force it and like, you know, freak out about when am I going to get again, when am I going to get to work again, what am I going to do, how am I going to do it? It's like I had to let go of the how and like more so embrace the now of the moment and be like, you know what, maybe the universe is saying that I need to take a little bit of a break right now and step away from my work for a bit, you know, and
Yeah.
to realign myself with some things or recalibrate all of this like entrepreneurial or, you know, spiritual like stuff that I've kind of learned, you know, in this past couple months or so. Sometimes you need to like recalibrate to like I feel like fully just, you know, download all that you things new that you learned, you know, the new skills, the new mindsets, like the maybe new ways of presence that you've learned, you know? And so I think that is just really important, and take a break sometimes, guys.
Yeah. Hi, Deanna. And if you're just signing on, we're talking about delays and how they're not denials, and also at the same time how difficult it could be, like during those pause seasons, during those breaks, during those things to like still stay steady onto the goal or the thing that you still want to accomplish when you're not seeing any results, when you're not seeing any fruit, when you're not seeing anything like bearing, and how so many things can come against you in those moments. So, you
I
know,
was,
one thing,
oh, go ahead.
yeah, one thing that I shared with Brett was like, you know, like, um, there's things that I want to move so much faster in my business. And then on the flip side of that is like all the things that are coming against that, right? Like getting a couple, actually, not even just one, a couple of job opportunities that are directly in a, like they're showing up the way that I want my business to show up. They're like, oh, I can give you the security that you're looking for. I can give you the
Right.
money you're looking for. I can give you all of these things. And it's just like, oh, you know, it's like kind of like when a boyfriend, I was telling her, like that old boyfriend comes back and like you just meet someone new and you're like not sure. And then the old boyfriend comes back with all
The
the things that you
test.
wanted him to like to be, right?
Yep.
And he's like, yes, 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 it's here. It's like, what do you do? What do you do? And I think like those moments happen so frequently when you're just like, oh my God, but that's, you know, like, do you go after the shiny thing that maybe like looks like, hey,
Right.
this can fix all your problems?
Right.
Or how do you stay steady with like, no, like,
Or have you
this is
learned
what I
your
want to do?
lesson, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Have you
yeah.
learned what that circumstance or that person like taught you or was, you know, was in your life to show you? And it's
Mm,
like, have you moved beyond that to kind of like level up to where you ultimately want to be, like the frequency that you ultimately want to like walk and move in? And then
mm,
that it came to my head when you're talking like, you know, it's not faith if you use your eyes, like it's faith
mm,
is so much deeper than just like what you're seeing on the external. And so like you were saying, you know, when you get frustrated with delays and you're not like seeing things like show up, you know, like, and you're getting frustrated because you think like, oh, nothing's happening, but it's like worry really does unravel your good, you know? And
mm,
so like when you don't necessarily see things with your eyes, but you have the understanding and the inner knowing that like manifestation really starts from within, and it'll
mm,
take a while for things to kind of like recalibrate, you know, on the physical plane. And once you have these new dreams, desires, goals in your mind, then it's like you really have to trust and have faith in just like life, and have trust and faith in like the universe that it is going to move, you know, like in the way that you've always dreamed, in the way that you've always hoped, you know, because it's so much more than so much more than what you can physically see is there, you know, like, and if you really believe that in your business, in your life, you know, like you can achieve greatness and you can achieve all these things and all these finances, and then you can. But it's like you can't let yourself get down when you have these delays and you're not seeing these things show up, and you're not seeing these things show up because, you know, do you have faith or not, you know?
mm. You know what? That is so good by you just even saying if you see it with your eyes, then that's not faith, you know,
Yeah.
like if that's where you're trying to see it from.
Right.
And I remember Roy, I don't know if he's not on here. Yes, amen. I love that. Roy was just talking about how when we plant a seed, you know, like we plant a seed, we're doing all the things, we're watering it, all that stuff. And then like what we do is we want to like dig up the seed to see if it's
Yeah.
still there. And it's
Yeah.
just like that's so
That's what
one,
worry
obviously
is.
that's what happens. And then you have to start all over because you're
Yeah.
just like digging it up and you
And
know,
then
with
you
this
think it's never going
fear,
to happen
my
because you're
gosh,
always in that
in that
cycle.
cycle of like digging it right back up, checking to make sure, you know, and like, yeah, no wonder it's not like growing. Oh my God. This is
And
like,
even
this is kind of like confronting me.
and even
Because I
like
feel that. I felt that. I felt that so many times over and over. And I
with the
think you
job
feel it at
thing
different
too,
levels. Yeah.
like you're
Yeah,
saying.
with the job thing for sure.
Because in a
Um,
way it's like well, it's like when you're getting these like other opportunities here, but you already have, you know, amazing, like this amazing business and this amazing book. Like it's just, I think the universe is just testing, like, are you going to keep going your route, you know, or are
yeah,
you going to kind of worry and unravel this good and all this manifestation that you've built up, you know, to this
right,
point? Because like
right.
you really have, like you've done so much work over the last years and years, but like
Right.
especially over these last, you know, two. And I think that like you've just really stood in your personal authority as an entrepreneur. And, you
That
know,
word.
like
Yeah.
that's just really important. Personal authority will be our topic next week.
Oh man, yeah. So gosh, this is giving me all kinds of feelings because like there's still so much pull, you know, like I'm not gonna lie, there's still so much pull. So I'm like in the heat of it. And conversations like this is so helpful, and having like a community or people that are aligned with who you are or who you want to be, is so helpful and needed, because otherwise it just looks like, yeah, why wouldn't you do that? It's just like the safe thing to do, the better thing to do. And you know what? And also, it's not that it's like, part of me is like, I honor that, like, thank goodness that's opportunities available for me, and I'm so honored, and also that there's other opportunities. There's another woman that reached out to me that I would love to be a part of what she's doing, because
Like,
she
give
is
thanks for
amazing. Yeah.
sure.
So it's like always that in between of like, whoa, wait a minute, you know, like, is this the thing that's trying to help me, or am I supposed to be staying in the course? And like, how do you know the difference?
Right.
And you know what, that's still to be continued, but kind of like what I feel right now is like, yeah, kind of like keep on figuring out where it's coming from. Like, where is
Right.
my yes coming from? And like, who is my yes to, right? Like, am I saying yes because of fear of not making it in my business? If I got so clear to a point where like I can say yes to this thing excitedly and feel so excited about my business, or is it just a yes out of fear? Is it yes because like,
Right.
I don't think this is going to work out? So, you know, so I don't think like, honestly, I don't think like entrepreneurs like don't have to take jobs. Like, there's
No,
some
I don't
times
believe
where you
that
have to
either.
go back, you have to take jobs, you have to do all these things. But I do think that there's a shift, and there's a
And it gets
difference
to a point.
between the alignment of where you're doing it from. And if you are not doing it from a healthy place, then yeah, it's just like not, it's the same thing with relationships, right? Like, when I was looking to a man to give me the love that I wanted, or give me the validation that I was beautiful, or I'm lovable, or that I'm okay, that is a totally different shift, rather than going to a lover or a partner or someone to like share your love with them, and to share
Right.
the experience of love. And yes, it could look like the exact same thing on the outside, but there's
Right.
so many different things that are happening on the inside that's way different.
Yeah. It's interesting because I actually, a card fell out the deck before I pulled the take a break one, and
Yeah.
it was just a very simple card, and all it says is yes. Like, it just says like, say yes. And that's also interesting too, because it's like, I think that it's not necessarily saying yes to all these like experiences or circumstances the world is necessarily throwing at you. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
saying yes to yourself,
Yes.
saying
Yeah.
yes to your own potential, saying yes to your own personal authority, saying yes
Yeah.
to that life that you really ultimately dream of having, and that life that you ultimately, envision living. And so I think that's a huge part of it. And also, I was going to say, you were talking about kind of like your tribe community, and I think that really does help, like, just uplift you when you do feel like frustrated with the delays, denials, having to take breaks or pauses in your business flow. But I do think that it's really important to, just make sure that it's a community that you trust, and a community that like is on the same frequency and really believes in you and your visions just as you believe in them and their visions.
Yeah.
Because if they don't, like, it's out of alignment, and it might not be in sync.
Right.
And with that, I was also thinking about just like the flow of things, even when you're taking a break. And sometimes you do have to like just, ask yourself, well, why do I have this like delay or block in my life? And is there anything that, I can maybe clear to, get that flow going again? And
Right.
sometimes it might be just like people that you have to like kind of, remove from your life or step back from. Like, I've had to step back from many of people in my life, but it's just like, as you grow and elevate and shine your light, your frequency elevates, and you change,
Yeah.
and that is totally okay. Like, everybody, has the right to change every day. And I think
Yeah.
that that is just a part of this entrepreneurial process. Like, it's about self-growth and self-mastery. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that is, we don't want to be the same person as we were like 2 years ago, 2 months ago, or yesterday. We are here now, and like we grow every day.
Yeah.
So That was
Yeah,
my
I
share.
love that. And you know what? I heard one of my mentors was talking about that the other day, was just like about the growth. Like I know I want to be liked. I mean, I want people to like what I'm doing and be excited about the things that I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. And it hurts. It does hurt sometimes when just like someone is against that, or um yeah, just
'Cause we're
like, is
human.
yeah, or or doesn't like something that I did or said, or the way that I am, of course. But like she was just talking about trusting what you are for the people that you are right now. And it's okay that, like who you grow to be is like to serve a different level of person and like new people in that season, and like kind of like letting go and trusting that those new people are going to find the people that are right for them, that are
Yeah.
aligned for them, and that what's right for them at that moment. And
And the more you do it, I feel
yeah,
like the easier it gets and the easier
yeah,
it becomes, because you don't, like, you stop taking things personally. Like, you stop thinking that, like, oh my God, this is a reflection on me or who I
yeah,
am or what I
yeah,
did or this or that. No, it just growth happens, life happens, change happens. Like, you elevate, your frequency shifts, your circumstances shift. And it's like,
yeah,
ultimately, that's what you're asking for. You're asking for to live the life of your dreams. Like, how can you get there, without shifting your frequency here, So it's
right,
just part of the process. And it's
yeah,
uncomfortable. None of it is comfortable, but it's like you kind
right,
of have to just accept the discomfort of it all and learn how to flow and navigate within that discomfort, within the delays, within the breaks, and then also within the busy times. But it's like, it really takes also aligning yourself to just know that none of it is like a reflection on who or what you are. None of it is a reflection of like, your own inner greatness or the light that you are. It's just like a part of the journey and a part of the process. And a lot of things are tests, and to make sure you've, mastered your lessons. So
yeah. Um, I don't know if I've said this here before, but I think I have, but I'll say it again. One of the things that you just reminded me of is just remembering that, that we are also like a seed of potential and all the things that we want to do. And sometimes we're in the wrong environment, right? Like we can be
right,
like on the cement, and like we can be thinking like, oh my God, something is wrong with me. Something is this, this is not right. Nothing is happening, all this stuff, but like literally we're planted in the wrong area. And if we can just like get planted in like what really fuels us and like what makes us feel loved, what makes us excited, go where you're celebrated, not tolerated, all of those things, like actually we can come alive. We can come alive, we can start blossoming, we can start blooming, all of those things. And what's the other thing? It's like where you have been, like you can't heal where you have been sick,
right,
right? Like you can't expect like those things to heal you. And I
right,
remember, especially like, yeah, I could think about jobs or relationships or like other people that I looked to solve the problem. But even though they were the ones, like I wanted them to fix it, right? But
right.
like we're
I've been
giving
there too.
our
Yeah.
own personal power onto this thing, this person, this job, this opportunity, this relationship, whatever it is. And yeah, how can we take back our own personal power? And the last thing I'm going to say is, I used to think that faking it till you make it, right? Like you have to like, okay, well, you kind of have to get in there and just like fake it.
Right.
But like that, nothing that we do is actually that way. Like it's
No,
really just practice until you make it, like practice.
exactly.
And it
It's
feels
practicing that
wobbly. It feels,
frequency.
yes, yes, it does. And it's okay to shift and change and see what like works well for you, and
Right.
just noticing where you're coming from when you're making those shifts. Because that's the thing, like do we just jump when it's not working? No, not necessarily. It's just noticing where you are in that shift. Why are you shifting at this moment? Is it
Right.
because it's not aligned, or is it because, what, I'm fearful that I can't, it won't work out? So those are two
Right.
different places of
And I think asking
coming
yourself
from.
those questions is like part of the work.
Yeah,
And a lot, I don't know if all entrepreneurs do it or not, but like really asking yourself those internal questions, even to the basis of like, well, how does this make me feel or whatever? Like those are really important to like just how you're internally going to flow. And because the internal dictates the external, thus how your business is going to flow. It's like, so I think you do have to ask yourself those valid questions. And I was thinking before we hopped on this live, me and Stacey were talking and about her business. And we were talking about like the evolution of how her business has changed and grown as she has. And it's beautiful to see because it transitioned from exalt her, right, to the exalted woman. But it's like, yeah, you know, like, well, you can explain it, but you know, it's a beautiful process of like evolving as your work does, and like a great example, I think, of just conscious entrepreneurship and like, yeah, really just choosing that alignment over that just like grind, hustle, and not really seeing the full picture.
Right. So something that was like in my heart, and even Brett knows how much I struggled with this over the last 2 months, is I know that there was some type of change that's like needed in my business. And there's something that's like, you know, yeah, like the natural evolution of me, like breaking and changing. And then also like my business. And I'm just like, it seems like something so simple, right? I've had Exalt Her for the last couple of years, and that's the title of my book. And I was like, I can't change this as the title of my book. Nobody's going to like know, really, nobody's going to know like that's the same company. Like it doesn't make sense, right? So it's just like all of my fears coming up, and
fears,
really,
that's the thing too.
Yeah. And then she knows, like, I've been struggling with just changing the title for the last 2 months. And the reason
just
why,
jump off the ledge, do it.
just jump,
Take the leap.
Jump. And the difference is that Exalt Her was really about like bringing her out, like bringing her to the surface, like exalt her, like rise her, like bring her out. And like this new evolution of like the exalted woman now just really feels like walking in your power, like walking in the power, being, you know, like having the embodiment of all of those things. And it's still about rising. There's not like, it's not an end to the evolution, but it's really about like walking and practicing and also like leadership now. So that's like the new Exalt Her. So if some of you have seen on my past Exalt Her page, it's now called The Exalted Woman. I made it just like a quick announcement yesterday.
The new handle in the chat.
Oh yeah. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
And then I'll put it in the comments too when we post this. So it's now called At the Exalted Woman. And yeah, that's really what it's about. It's really about embodying the principles, about getting to a new level of leadership. And part of what I was, Justin, hello. I can't take this off. That's so weird. Okay, there's something here, but is it bothering you guys? Do you see anything, Brett, like on my screen?
No.
So weird. Okay, so my screen's being weird. But I'll just keep on talking. Yeah, so yeah, it's about like this new evolution. And a part of me was actually scared, like you said, of like losing people. Like one, they're what is she doing now? She's doing this exalted thing. Like, what is it? And then also I honestly feel a shift of like now like leading leaders.
Yeah.
And before I feel like it was like I wanted to be really inclusive of everyone, and I love that, and I have just a huge heart for people. But what I realize now is like I'm really being pulled to call into like women leadership. But I feel like what finally settled into my body was like, hello, it's because like it's just going to serve more people, you know?
Right.
If I'm able to lead with leaders, then those leaders can serve their communities, their families, and if I do not shift, if I do not get there, like my message will like not get out to the people that I would love for it to reach. It will not have the reach that I want. But yes, like Brett can attest to the excruciating pain I was having over this thing of like just changing the title of my business.
It's just that fear. It gets into our heads and like the worry of it. And when we finally take that leap, often we realize like, oh, you know what? It wasn't even as scary as I thought. Or, you know, it breaks the illusion, crumbles the illusion that is fear, you know? But it's like, I think that everything that you said is just like so much of what I hear so many other entrepreneurs saying right now, because like this time globally, universally, whether you like believe in astrology or not, there is a huge shift going on our planet and on our world. Like, I mean, even if you just consider it just the pandemic, but like there's just a huge shift going on, you know, from the capitalistic society back to kind of like the power of the people. And, you know, and I think that we both answered the call to kind of really just, we shifted from like, you know, learning and taking classes and absorbing all this material to like standing in our personal authority and now like walking even more in our purpose and being able to teach others because we have taken such I don't know what happened.
Oh, yeah, I cut out just a little bit at the end. Yeah. Just
But
like because.
yeah,
So taking a long walk because that's how you ended.
What?
I said you ended at because, like you cut out.
Oh,
because
I did.
you said taking into our
A
personal power
long walk because like, I mean, that's what it took for us to get here, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that's, you know, it's just like my phone is doing weird things. I don't know what it's doing. But, you know, and sometimes it does take a long walk. Sometimes it will take longer or shorter than, you know, the destination that you initially like planned or mapped out for yourself. But it's like, you got to go with the flow, maybe take a break sometimes and realize that like, you know, have faith that you can get there and you will get there, you know? So yeah, that's pretty much all I got, I think.
Yeah, I feel good about that.
Feel complete.
Yeah, I know. I feel complete. That's our thing of like feeling complete. And it's like my new practice too, and a pleasure mastery. I told you a pleasure mastery I was in for the last 6 months. I was just talking about like when you're full, like, you know, when you feel full, when you feel complete, when you feel good, that like, okay, you know, like you know that it's a good place and you know, you don't have to kind of go beyond that. So
yeah. And you know, and even just like even if we had these conversations just like one-on-one, you know, I definitely think we would still be like walking in our personal authority. But I think we, you know, you got to always take that leap over fear, you know, like you have to take that leap to just try something new, and then, you know, more expansion can occur and you create change. So this is our leap, you know, of faith to keep doing this consistently. And yeah, we just want to spread more conscious entrepreneurship vibes. And like, you know, we're in our teaching mode now because we have come far. We've done a lot in our careers, and yeah, we now can teach. So
and then, you know, it's also about continuing to elevate and also with people, right? Like now doing this walk with other people alongside. And you know, I always like, I have a couple of clients that they're way smarter than I am, you know, in different ways, in different areas. And I don't say that to be like any type of way, but I mean, just, but you know what? It's like we all have different areas of expertise that we share. And when I like work with someone, it's not because like I don't see that they have personal power, that they don't have their authority. I like to talk about it as like they're like Michael Jordan and I'm a coach, right? But I'm coaching them in this area, and they can be masterful in other areas, and they're just coming to me for this specific area, and they could teach me about the other areas, you know. But so it's not that I never want people to think that, you know, you need a coach or you need someone because it's bad. It's just like, really, it's just up leveling your life or just seeing something that you had not seen before. And like Michael Jordan, he's the best in his own life. He's masterful of his own life, right? And his own game. He's like the best basketball player there is in life. Like, well, why does he need a coach? Because when he's on the floor, when he is playing the game, he can't see all of the different things that someone from the, you know, the other perspective can see. So if you can see someone going left all the time, you know, like, and he's watching the ball, you can just tell him, hey, you know what, there's like, this guy is going left, and like it can up level your game if you just like see that and notice that. So it's all about, hi, I got my brother-in-law. So, you know, it's all about just like seeing the game from another perspective and up leveling. And it's like when you're ready, and it's in your own personal power, when you're ready for that is when you're ready to leap to the next step and the next next transition. So yeah.
And to close out, speaking about big steps, next Friday, I'm going to launch my nonprofit's first huge campaign.
Amazing.
We partnered with I Fund Women and Caress, like the body wash brand. And we're starting this big crowdfunding campaign. So we'll be dropping an outfit set. I'm dropping our first mini documentary film, and we're starting our campaign next Friday. Stay tuned, people.
Stay tuned. Feel free to follow Stuff Designs and at Brett Sims. you can find both of our businesses on our personal pages as well.
Yep.
But yeah, so excited that we're dropping this and we're talking about this. And I'm just also opening my one-on-ones to work with me personally. I have a couple of spots. I have a couple of spots opening up for this new round. It's going to be a 12-week round, and it has been just like amazing results for my past clients in like money, relationships, and their personal power. So I'm so excited to, work with some new women this next round. So,
and you were born to do this, so that's great
right,
too.
Thank you. And like I said about community and sisterhood and all these things are so, so important because like even I need to be reminded of those things because that's not necessarily the realm that I'm working in. I can like do my magic in other areas, but I so appreciate Brett, like I so appreciate that. Like,
and you
so
said magic, and I
me.
think
So
that's
I
important. We got to have faith in the magic because life is magical. The fact that we're breathing, existing, and right here, right now is magical in itself. So, we are miracles because we woke up today, and it's like that is first and foremost what you should be thankful for, Everything else derives after that point, I feel like. But give thanks.
Yeah.
Happy
Great
Friday.
Closing. Yeah. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, guys.
Sending so much love and light to all of you guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. Have a great day.
Have a great day. Bye.